Night after night, Sophia found herself slipping into layers of reality. She would awaken, heart pounding, certain she'd risen, but the walls around her shifted. Her phone lay on the nightstand, an unread message blinking. She reached for it, but it was gone. Only then she truly awoke. It was as if consciousness cradled a mirror, reflecting another mirror, a dream within a dream. What does this layered structure tell us? Is it a glitch in sleep, a message from the psyche, or a hint that reality itself is less stable than we believe? The phenomenon is not rare. Classic false awakenings, when you dream that you've woken only to still be dreaming, are often reported. They can occur in chains. Awaken, realize, awaken again. The dreamscape folds in on itself like origami, unsettling the boundary between sleep and wake. Neuroscience suggests these occur during hybrid brain states, mixtures of REM, rapid eye movement, sleep, and waking consciousness. Patrick McNamara and colleagues describe how neurotransmitter-driven brainwaves may partially activate waking state networks while dreaming continues beneath the surface. Cite turn search 1. But philosophy has long teased out another layer. Zhuangzi's butterfly, perhaps consciousness itself is a dream, or the world we call waking is the deeper illusion. Descartes used dreaming to question reality. If we cannot distinguish dream from wake, how can we trust our senses? Cite turn search 12 thing. A dream within a dream, then, becomes a metaphor for radical doubt. Even waking may be another layer of dreaming. Why does our brain fold experience like this? One theory suggests dreams function to improve our cognitive resilience. Eric Hol's overfitted brain hypothesis proposes that dreaming injects noise, random, bizarre combinations, helping us generalize from life's experiences. Cite Academia 6th. A dream within a dream may be an extreme glitch in that system, the brain sampling itself recursively to bolster its own understanding. But dreams have long guided breakthroughs in science and art. Kekulé envisioned the benzene ring as a snake biting its tail during sleep. Mendeleev's periodic table came to him in a dream-guided flash. Siren Search 7. Perhaps a dream within a dream signals a deeper reflection, an introspection loop that allows radical insight. Let us pause and observe Sophia in her waking double wake. Her mind has merged layers of reality. The transition, partial activation of the prefrontal cortex, creates lucidity without wakefulness. Neurologists term this lucid dreaming when full awareness returns. But a false awakening lacks that insight. It tricks you into believing you are awake, even as your mind remains dreaming. Cite Search 1 turn Search 3. This slippage between states raises urgent questions. What is consciousness? Sleep scholars affirm dreams are real experiences during REM. Cite turn Search 2. But thinkers like Norman Malcolm argue dream reports cannot verify conscious dreaming. They may be confabulation at awakening. Cite turn Search 0. A dream within a dream amplifies the paradox. If we can't trust waking to remember a dream, how can we trust memories of layered dreaming? Psychologically, Freud viewed dreams as wish fulfillment. Post-Freudian thought gives dreams roles in emotional processing, memory consolidation, survival forecasting. Cite turn Search 5. A recursive dream might indicate unresolved conflict looping in the unconscious, or a mind rehearsing realities within realities, like a rehearsal before an important play. Phenomenologically, the experience is unsettling. In a dream within a dream scenario, Sophia feels her identity fracturing. She questions, am I alive? Is this real? Each layer erases her certainty. Through this lens, dreams become portals into questions of selfhood, temporality, and existence. Thus, the phenomenon draws us toward the heart of philosophical and scientific wonder. What is real? What is me? And why do we sometimes dream that we are dreaming? Until our next segment, consider this. Every time you awaken, are you safe, or are you only inside another dream? To understand the layers of dreaming, we must explore the architecture of consciousness. The brain is not a monolith, but a vast orchestra of synchronized chaos. During sleep, its melodies shift. In REM sleep, the limbic system, the seat of emotion, flares with activity, while the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, responsible for logical reasoning and self-reflection, dims to a whisper. This dissonance may explain the surreal nature of dreams. But when dreams fold within each other, a strange alchemy occurs. Fragments of waking logic creep back in, creating the illusion of awareness inside unreality. This strange coexistence of lucidity and deception invites us to ask, is the dream within a dream a neurological error or a natural feature of the mind's layered design? Some scientists argue that these phenomena are side effects of the brain's predictive nature. Our minds do not passively receive reality. They predict it, anticipate it, shape it. Dreams, then, are simulations of the world, rehearsals run by the brain to improve survival. But when these simulations become nested, when the dream simulates the experience of waking into another simulation, something profound is revealed. The brain is dreaming about dreaming. This self-referential loop is not just a curiosity. It is central to the philosophy of mind. Consider Douglas Hofstadter's notion of the strange loop, a system that moves through levels of abstraction only to return to itself. Consciousness, he argues, is a strange loop. So is the dream within a dream. Each points to the recursive nature of thought. We think about thinking, we remember memories, we dream that we are dreaming. Such loops are not unique to the human mind. Artificial neural networks, too, begin to hallucinate when trained too long on data without variation, a condition known as overfitting. Dreams may serve a similar function, to keep the brain flexible by introducing chaos. In that context, the dream within a dream is like shaking the snow globe twice to be sure the pieces settle in a different pattern. Evolution may have preserved this oddity for a reason. Let us return now to Sophia, who finds herself once again in her dreamscape. She awakens from her false awakening, only to find her apartment subtly wrong. The calendar shows a date in the past. Her bookshelf holds titles she's never read. Is this reality or another veil? She looks in the mirror and wakes again. Her sense of identity is no longer fixed, but fluid. This is not just dream content. It is an experience that dissolves the ego, strips away the assumption that consciousness is continuous and real. The Tibetan Buddhist tradition speaks of dreams not as illusions to escape from, but as terrains to explore. Dream yoga trains practitioners to become aware within dreams and even to maintain consciousness through death itself. In their cosmology, the dream within a dream is not a trap, but a gateway. It suggests that layers of reality exist not just in sleep, but in waking life as well. What we call reality might itself be a dream, one maintained by collective agreement, sensory habit, and biological limitation. Now, science returns to meet mysticism. Quantum physics tells us that at the smallest scales, particles exist in superpositions, both here and there, until measured. The act of observation collapses possibilities into one reality. Could consciousness itself work similarly? Could our minds navigate through probabilities, selecting realities like tuning frequencies on a cosmic radio? And might the dream within a dream be the echo of another channel, one we nearly tuned into but slipped away from? There are cases, rare but real, of people who live predominantly in lucid dreams. In one study, a subject claimed he could count digits, read text, and alter his surroundings at will inside dreams that nested within each other. When scientists used fMRI to scan the brain during these lucid episodes, they found activation patterns resembling waking cognition. The boundaries again blur. As we continue this journey, the dream within a dream becomes more than a nocturnal oddity. It is a symbol, a metaphor, a riddle whispered by the mind to itself. It asks us, what is real? Who am I beneath the layers of awareness? And if all this is a dream, what lies beyond the final awakening? Time is one of the first casualties in a dream. Hours may pass in minutes or seconds may stretch into eternity. But in a dream within a dream, time folds more dramatically. The layers compound distortion. A single moment might be replayed, reimagined, or repeated with subtle shifts, each new version echoing the previous one like footsteps lost in a cavernous loop. This stacking of experiences has fascinated scientists and mystics alike, because it doesn't just reveal how the brain warps time, but how consciousness itself may not be linear. In sleep labs, researchers have clocked dream durations. While REM episodes can last up to 45 minutes, the perceived time often vastly differs. Some lucid dreamers report living through weeks of experience inside a single night. In nested dreams, where the mind dreams that it is dreaming, this elongation intensifies. One striking example is the case of a man who, during a short nap, dreamed he lived an entire life as another person, married, aged, mourned, only to wake up and find it had all occurred within minutes. And yet he claimed a moment within that life had felt like another dream. A life within a dream within a dream. His sense of self remained split for days afterward. What mechanisms allow the brain to create such layered illusions? One possible answer lies in the hippocampus and neocortex, which play central roles in memory consolidation. During REM sleep, memories are replayed and stitched together with past experiences. This can result in dreams that reference other dreams, especially if you awaken briefly and fall asleep again. The interrupted loop resets the narrative but carries forward emotional and sensory cues. Your brain, seeking continuity, invents a waking within the dream. A plot twist, yet this neurological explanation leaves something untouched: the emotional gravity of nested dreams. Why do they feel so profound? So real? Some philosophers argue that this is because dreams don't just simulate the world, they simulate meaning. When Sophia awakens into another dream, she does not merely question her surroundings, she questions herself. If she can't trust her waking, what can she trust? Who is she beneath the shifting surfaces? These are not just philosophical musings, they have real psychological weight. False awakenings are frequently reported during times of stress, transformation, or trauma. In such periods, identity becomes unstable, and the mind mirrors this with recursive dreaming. Soldiers in battle, patients recovering from surgery, individuals in deep grief all have described dreams that echo into themselves, reflecting fears of loss, disintegration, or rebirth. Carl Jung saw dreams as expressions of the collective unconscious. A dream within a dream, then, could be seen as the psyche turning inward, descending into deeper archetypes. The outer dream may be filled with daily symbols, the inner one with mythic figures, the shadow, the self, the stranger. To descend into a dream within a dream is to approach the core of psychological transformation. But what happens when we go even deeper? Reports exist of triplet dreams, 3 layers deep, rare but documented. In these, the dreamer not only dreams that they are dreaming, they awaken into another dream, then another. Each time they believe themselves awake. When the final awakening arrives, the aftershock is existential. The texture of reality remains strange, unstable, as if the soul has been peeled open and is still adjusting to the light. In altered states of consciousness, induced by meditation, psychedelics, or sensory deprivation, the same effect appears. People report nested realities, simulated awakenings, and echoes of identity. Is the mind naturally inclined to create fractal layers of self-awareness when released from the constraints of the external world? Or is it glimpsing a deeper truth, that consciousness itself is multi-layered, and our normal state is merely one floor of a larger structure? Perhaps, as the mystics have long said, there is no final awakening, only deeper dreams. The Sufi mystic Ibn Arabi wrote of a reality layered like veils, each unveiling revealing a deeper one. Reality, then, is not an absolute, but a relative position. The dreamer is always mid-ascent. In modern cognitive science, some theorists suggest the self is an emergent illusion, a pattern of predictive processes, not a fixed entity. When you dream, you are dreaming. Your brain is modeling its own models. It is not only simulating reality, it is simulating itself, simulating reality. This recursion may feel sacred or terrifying because it destabilizes the most fundamental belief, that there is a stable I at the center. So when Sophia wakes again, this time into her apartment exactly as it was, how can she be sure it is not just another fold? She drinks coffee, hears birdsong, receives a message she half remembers from the last dream. Is this deja vu, or is this still dreaming? The deeper we explore this question, the more we realize the dream within a dream is not an error. It is a signal, a reminder that what we call reality is itself dreamlike, constructed, interpreted, layered. And perhaps, like the dream, it is trying to tell us something about ourselves we've been too awake to notice. Throughout history, dreams have been seen not merely as reflections of inner life, but as bridges to hidden truths. In ancient Egypt, dreams within dreams were viewed as divine messages wrapped in mystery, layered symbols requiring decoding. In Hindu cosmology, reality itself is described as Maya, a dream illusion in the mind of Brahma. In each of these traditions, the concept of a dream inside another dream was never treated as mere sleep confusion, but as a profound metaphor for existence itself. Even Edgar Allan Poe, in his iconic poem A Dream Within a Dream, captured the haunting question: if life is fleeting and memory unreliable, are we ever truly awake? Or is every waking moment simply a deeper illusion, accepted only because we share it with others? The power of Poe's vision lies in the emotional dissonance it evokes, that even our most cherished realities might dissolve like sand through fingers. This poetic insight now echoes through modern frontiers of science. Virtual reality, for instance, allows users to enter fully immersive worlds that mimic physics, sound, time, and social interaction. But when users in VR enter another virtual space within the simulation, they experience a digital analog of the dream within a dream. And startlingly, many of them report losing track of which layer is real. Their emotions remain intact, their sense of agency sharp, but their awareness of the frame blurs. Could technology eventually simulate consciousness itself? And if so, would it be possible to create minds that believe they are real within environments simulated by other simulated minds? The recursive paradox of a dream inside a dream becomes an ethical question when applied to AI and digital consciousness. If we build layers of artificial minds, at what point do they cease to be fiction and become experience? Philosophers like Nick Bostrom have proposed that we may already live in such a nested simulation. If civilizations can simulate minds with fidelity, and do so many times over, then the odds suggest we are far more likely to be within one of those simulations than at the base level of reality. The dream within a dream may be a foreshadowing, an echo of this deeper simulation hypothesis. But then, what is truth? Science offers tools, neuroimaging, cognitive models, sleep studies, but truth is not merely the domain of data. The dream within a dream touches something older and more primal: the idea that reality is not one thing, but a shifting field of perceptions. We construct narratives not only to explain the world, but to anchor ourselves in it. The moment those narratives are interrupted by awakening or by another dream, we are cast adrift. Yet in that drift lies something precious: the chance to awaken further. Sophia, in her final dream, walks through a city she's never seen before, but knows instinctively. Every street leads back to the same square. In the center stands a tree growing from a spiral staircase. She ascends it, not to escape the dream, but to meet it. Each step up feels like falling deeper, and when she reaches the top, she sees herself sleeping in the same bed she left, countless floors below. She smiles, because perhaps it is not about waking from the dream, but understanding why we dream at all. Perhaps the nested structure of dreams reflects the nested structure of the self, masks beneath masks, layers of meaning within meaning. And maybe, in the deepest layer, what we find is not the illusion of reality, but the truth that we are creatures of meaning, forever stitching stories into the fabric of our minds. The dream within a dream is not a failure of perception, but a revelation. It teaches us that even in sleep, the mind reaches for itself, that even when lost, we are searching for coherence, for symbols, for anchors, and that maybe, just maybe, consciousness is not a light that switches on, but a fire that burns through veils. As you finish reading these thoughts, a quiet question may linger in your own mind. What if this too is a dream? And what if the next time you wake, you find yourself one layer closer to the truth, or further? Either way, the journey continues.